Monday is a heavier arm wrestling day for me, arm wrestling training. Starting off, gonna see how heavy I can go with riser, with back pressure, and then with this top row eliminator, this for cupping. And then after that, I might move on to static pronation lifts like the Devin Larratt pronation lift, and then end with some multi-spinner, low multi-spinner for hooking for inside. So still warming up. Got 65 pounds. I've seen people, I haven't really done this a lot, where you put your wrist through a strap and then the top of your hand through the other end of the same strap. I think the thought there is it's supposed to be more like pulling in a strap, which I need to get much better at. Not very good at it. So just trying it out today. I have 65 pounds on a pin on this little pulley. Can't really tell if it's better or worse. All right. All right, so riser, I'm doing just static risers. I'm going in between the knuckles, not over the knuckle. So I think this is a bit harder when it's directly over your first knuckle. You're going to be engaging pronation, and your pronation is going to be stronger than your riser. So you should be able to lift more weight over your knuckle than just straight over your fingers in between the knuckles. So this is, I have 10, 45, 55, so 60 pounds total. And I'm not going to count the weight of the belt because it's negligible. It's probably ounces. So I used to wrap around my wrist. I don't like how that feels. So I'm just putting it in the palm of my hand and just squeezing my hand. I really don't feel like I have to squeeze super hard. I don't have to focus on squeezing to keep it in my hand. I just feel like the pressure naturally, I don't know, it just doesn't come out of my hand. So I'm not worrying about wrapping my wrist or anything. So 60 pounds. I've done 72 and a half. So this shouldn't be too difficult, but I don't know if I'm feeling great on my riser today, so we'll see. Okay, that wasn't bad. Left arm. More difficult. Surprisingly, usually my left arm is stronger on my riser. Alright. So now I'm still warming up my cupping. This top row eliminator, man, this thing is awesome. I love this thing. But I feel like it does take the most warm up to not get any pain in my hand and my wrist. Some of these lifts, you could go pretty close to 1 rep max right off the bat. You might feel a little uncomfortable, but you could probably do it like Devin does. It doesn't really warm up, right? However, on this thing, I've tried that before and it is not fun. So I usually warm up pretty good with this. Alright, 75 pounds now on back pressure. Should probably buy another karate belt so I have a little bit more room. This thing is pretty tight against the wire. Yeah, I guess I could see how that might be beneficial pulling like this, because I can feel more of the weight on my wrist, which I guess when you're in a strap, really pulling against that, I think you gotta kind of dump your wrist a little bit to get the focus of your pressure on the strap right here. Not necessarily a full low hand top roll, but at least a little bit. Okay, so that was 75. Guess we'll go up another 5 on the riser. Okay, so those are 2 5s, so it's 10, 20, 30, 55, there's 10 on the bottom, so 65 pounds. When I first started doing this, I don't know, 6, 9 months ago, something like that, this specific lift, it's like 40 pounds was probably not my 1 rep max, but it was difficult. Just a new lift. Right, new angles, muscles that have never really been exercised or worked out like this before. So they adapt quickly, more or less. I guess it'll be different for every person, but so the camera's at a bad angle to see if I'm, you know, parallel with the ground, not dipping below, cheating, but I can have a mirror right here. There's no point in cheating. You're not going to get the benefit. So for the 12 people that are going to see this video, if that, I'm just gonna have to trust that my arm is parallel, because if it's not a lift, right? It doesn't count. So that's about parallel. Maybe to you it might look below parallel, but that's about perfectly parallel. Probably not gonna be able to go much more than that today. 65. I'd like to push my 1 rep, I really would, but man, it feels like for riser, it feels like I haven't been able to push my 1 rep more than once every like 3 or 4 weeks, which is probably for the better, because, you know, I know you're not supposed to push your 1 rep too often, but for how I pull out of the strap, my riser is so key. It's so important. See if my left can do 65. Oh, barely. Man, I could feel all of this so tight. I was on the cusp of having to dump. Oh. Okay, what do we have? We have 1 more 10. Back pressure. All right, 85 pounds on the pulley. I love this sport. May never be good at it, might always suck, but man, I love this sport. Something about competing, you know, this is straight ability versus ability, muscle versus muscle, grappling up with somebody, you know, getting strapped together so you can't escape. And then it's just you against another person. Something so competitive. I love it. Very few things in my life can I be competitive with. And even if it's only on a local level, it is very mentally beneficial to being competitive and fighting and having that, you know, those butterflies in your stomach in a competition before you go up to the table. I love it. I love it. It has benefited my mental health a lot, I would say. Okay, 85 pounds. This might be more difficult than it should be. It is what it is. Not sure I could go higher than that. You know, the whole point of this is to build strength off the go, just straight back, right? So I try not to, with that weight I was having to drop my body, right? Even when you drop your body, it still hinges on your elbow, right? So this position, your brachyradialis, is still holding the weight even if you drop your body down. So it's still here where you want it. But I'm really wanting to be able to strengthen this without having to drop my body. Because when I start a match, and I do everything from my knuckle, right? So risers engaged, back pressures engaged. I go straight back. So I don't drop a ton, like not down, but ooh. Shouldn't be that heavy. All right. Okay, I have 7 plates on here, so that's 70 pounds, but it's a pulley, so it's not really 70 pounds. No point in trying to, you know, fudge numbers or lie, because it doesn't lie when you're on the table. So it's usually 50 to 55% of the weight. So that was only like, I don't know, 35, 40 pounds probably. I have this, I can test it, it just doesn't, it won't keep the weight. So I don't think I'd be able to show you with this. Let's see, 39.2. So out of 72 pounds, because of the pin, 39.2 is over 50%. So it's like 53, 54%, somewhere in there. So we'll go up another 2 plates, another 20 pounds. Drop it lower this time, maybe we'll get a better view. All right, 35, 45, 55, so 65, 65. Do I make the jump to 70, or do I go up by 2.5? Jump to 70. You know what, just for giggles, let's see if you guys will be able to read this. 71.4, 70. So between 70 and 71 pounds. I'm sure these aren't calibrated weights. Some of them are old and rusty. A couple ounces from the strap. So I won't be surprised if I don't get this right now. Not feeling 100% fresh, so we'll see. I kind of wish it was a little higher so I could start higher up, not have to bend over so much. Not sure if that affects it or not, but okay. Let's try without the bench. 70 pounds. Okay. If that wasn't 100% effort, it was 99% effort. I'm not going to go with my left. My left is feeling a bit injured. A lot of the workouts I'm not even doing with my left, trying to let it heal from whatever's wrong. Just hasn't felt the same since my last competition. Didn't hurt it. I didn't feel anything. So if it got injured, I don't know what happened to it. So my training split, I'm just doing something to test out. I don't know if this is optimal, but I'm going to be doing, Monday is going to be a pretty heavy arm wrestling workout focus day. Tuesday and Wednesday I go into the office for work, so I'm going to go to the gym at like 4 a.m. before the office, and those are going to be kind of gym focused. It's been a long time since I've worked out normal workouts like overhead press, bench press, deadlift, squat, stuff like that. So I'm gonna start getting back into that, and I'll post shorts of my heavier ones doing that. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday is practice, so I don't work out on Thursday. Friday is gonna be a gym day, and then Saturday is gonna be not super heavy. It's gonna be a medium arm wrestling day where I do a little bit lighter, still medium to heavy weight, but more to the medium side and higher reps. Whereas Monday, today, is going to be higher weight, lower reps. So trying to get a good mix of everything. Again, I don't know if that's optimal. I'm still testing it out to see if that works well for me. It's going to be different for everybody. You just have to find what works for you, I guess. Alright, 85. Let's see if I can do a few sets of 5 reps. 85 pounds. Not sure what I should count as a full rep, right? Because if you think about arm wrestling, I'm starting with the pressure already in my hand because I have to drag it back to get my elbow on the pad. And then I'm starting, that's about how I'd start in arm wrestling. But I usually would pull back to about here. Feels about like a quarter rep, only going that far, right? So I try and go as far back as I can. So I think if I get close to straight up and down, because you'll never be that far in an arm wrestling match, straight up and down. Because if I'm here, they're completely across the table. So I think if you can get close to perpendicular with the floor, then it's a good rep. Because going past that, you're never going to be way over here with somebody because they're going to be off the pad. And I'm not to a point where I am levels above other people, so I'm likely never going to be over here against somebody that's, you know, my same experience and strength. So this is already a long video, so I'll probably cut it there. Do a few more sets, reps. Maybe I'll still trying to figure out what the best method is for videos. They're mainly for me. I'm never going to become YouTube famous. That's not really why I'm doing this. Well, it's not why I'm doing this. This helps me stay focused, stay motivated with my workouts. So, to adopt Brian Shaw's end of YouTube video saying, go out and be great.